Buenos dias. All right. So we got oil on the rise. All right. Look, I'm not saying I'm not bullish or nothing. All right. I'm not saying I'm even bearish. All right. But dude, when you see consistent green candles like this, bro. Okay. This is the daily, folks. This is the daily. This is what's been going on every single day. Right. So let's start right here. That's the 31st, the 1st of April, the 2nd of April. There's only been one small red candle. That was last Friday. All right. And then, well, not even last Friday. Yeah, that's like literally almost 2 weeks ago. Literally almost 2 weeks ago, right? So we come back in on Monday. Since last week on Monday, it's just been green candles nonstop. All right. VIX still at 19. VIX is back on the rise. I like that. I like that. I like it for puts. All right. I like it for puts. I'm not trying to go and short the market right here, but when we look across the board, y'all, look how many of these gaps that we just have right here. I mean, the whole market is just inflated. I mean, just across the board. Just this. I don't like gaps ups. Excuse me. I don't think I hate more than gap ups and gap downs is sneezing, y'all. So, all right. So we got Tesla breaking down here as well, too. All right. Probably gonna come back down and test this 376. I like that. I like that. Let's see. No, I might be late to that party. I probably won't even join that one. All right. But NVIDIA having a hard time here at its normal resistance. All right. So we've been at this resistance for how long already? Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and let's just mark this level out right here. Where's that? Boom. All right. So I like that level right there. Y'all want to go ahead and mark it as well too. Be my guest. But more than anything, we need to get above that. We don't, then I do like puts. All right. And there's a lot of room on the way down for. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. All right. Like I said, don't get me wrong. Okay. Oil though, still look, we're consolidating here like we always do, folks. All right. We got this consolidation here last time. This is what happens when we got consolidation. And then even a little consolidation here might be a bit of a reach. All right. But nothing's perfect. And you got to kind of, work with what you got. All right. So this level is huge. All right. So that's why we have it labeled as a strong level. All right. As long as oil stays at 90 and above, I mean, hell, even 70 and above, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yes, for sure. Let's go ahead and let's just mark that right there even. All right. Stop. Boom. Beautiful. All right. Until oil can get back under this price, I'm not believing no bull. All right. Look, yeah. Oil came back down. That's nice. That's a sharp drop. But if we reclaim that 200 SMA, that's not good. All right. That means that we're just only finding support now. All right. That's the only thing that it means right there. All right. Open broke my heart this morning. Just took off. All right. Give me below 430. We were right there. All right. Right there. Jesus. Man. Look at that. But it's coming down. All right. It's coming down. It can't get above this level as well either. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and let's just mark this one out. What is that? I like that right there. Mm, I like that. I like that. Put the money in. Mm. Let's stick with this candle right there. All right. Whoop. Oh, Jesus. Bad, y'all. Beautiful. All right. And put it on the strong level. All right. But see, this is why I like certain times like this. All right. Like, all right, so we haven't been really placing any trades, right? This is when you're supposed to be doing the most homework. All right. Even though we're not in the market, we're still involved in the market. All right. This is the time where you're supposed to be setting up plays, when you're supposed to be looking, when you're supposed to be finding entries, when you're supposed to be finding confirmations, um, things that'll invalidate whatever it is that you're currently looking at the moment right now. Jesus. All right. VIX. Oh, is that on the 4? That's on the 4. Okay. VIX got a death cross. All right. See, things might be looking up now. All right. Things might be looking up now. All right. But still, nonetheless, we're finding a lot of support here, down here on at the 200 day. All right, folks. We find a lot of support here, and if we see VIX shoot up, I don't see us coming down below 18 for quite some time now. Now, I really do think that I do believe that things will begin to get ugly at that point. All right. So if we continue to find support here at this 200 day, I do see us entering a bloodbath here. All right. I'm not saying, go put the house up on shorting the market or anything like that. But if we can find support here, I do believe the market is coming down. But on the brighter side of things, we're below 20 now for the first time. And we've been below for 20 for a while. Now, if this trend continues, because as you can see, we're on the 13 EMA, all right? It's coming up, testing that confirmation, right? So we have all the way up until 2137, which is that 48 EMA, all right? For it to tell us that we're breaking trend, we're going to start rising again. All right. Now, once the VIX starts rising, that works inversely with the market. All right. That's when we're going to see the market begin to come down. All right. So if we lose the 200 day, we come back down, fall all the way back down below to 13. I mean, we're looking great. All right. We're looking great. AVGO. I mean, look, this is just. Look, I'm all for markets just taking off, and you just ride the wave, dude. That's what you got to do. All right, you got to ride the wave. All right, but we are coming. All right. See, this is money. This is exactly what I like to find with y'all, bro. This is exactly what I like to fucking find with y'all. All right, boom. Let's go ahead. Let's mark that one. All right, my guy. All right, there's a big level for them. All right, we're on the 4 hour. We can't mount above this level right here, shorting it, going puts. It's no coincidence that oil is back up on the rise. It's no coincidence that VIX is kind of back up on the rise. All right. NASDAQ just been on a rampage. All right. So, like I said, we need to get above this 26,013 level, right? Then from there, we're literally at all-time highs right now. All right, folks. Like, let's just go ahead and let's just mark the highest candle on here, and I'm pretty sure it's this wick right here. Right. So, boom. Is that? I don't even have that. There you go. All-time high price. All right. Got that ATH up there. That's all-time highs, folks. All right. We tapped that right now. All right. We're currently live right now. Okay. Let's break this down to the 15-minute. Okay. We're slowly losing that level right now. Okay. Now, do I want to jump into shorts on a lot of things? Yes. Right. AVGO being mainly one of them. Okay. Took off. NVIDIA being another one. All right. Found support here at 195 though. Okay. We all know how high NVIDIA can go right here. All right. This is its new all-time high. Let's mark that one as well too. All right. 212. Okay. Now, is that a possibility that we definitely can? Definitely. All right. Just because I want it to go down, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm just selling those puts. All right. Just doing those puts. I just got smoked. All right. But I'm so smoked at this point that it's like I might as well just tough it out. All right. So if we can get above this level right here, next level I see for us, for NVIDIA, would be boom, right here. Okay. 203, 203.13. If we can get above 203.13, I see us looking for 212. This essentially will push the market back up. Okay. So back up, I mean, even higher. All right. We're right now chilling at all-time highs. All right. We're testing that right now. If we can get NVIDIA back up above, find a last rally push, get one more push up, we're going to see some crazy numbers. I think we're going to see the market do some crazy stuff. All right. VIX though, VIX on the rise. All right. Like I said, that's something to keep an eye on. Oil back up on the rise as well too. All right. This is on a downtrend. All right. I've spoken about this countless number of times. Pretty sure I even drew this in one of the last videos as well too. But okay. Get that falling wedge right there. And then you got another one right here as well too. So we could really see oil come down. All right. Definitely a huge possibility. All right. But let's see how that plays out for us. Okay. So in the meantime, this is what we're going to keep our eyes on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete the top one, though it's not as confusing for y'all. All right. So, I actually want to draw a different one. Let's draw an actual. Nice to me. Beautiful. I'm just as bad as I used to be. All right. Got our falling wedge right there, okay? AVGO, I want to short it. I do. All right. But look, AVGO, look, just look at this rampage, all right? I'm just saying, look, AVGO is known, though, is known to just produce like this, okay? Let's go ahead and let's look back. All right. But see, do you see what happens every time you get some crazy different type of numbers? You do get that pullback every single time, right? So, right, boom, gaps up, goes on a rampage, comes back down, revisits, okay? That's what you want a healthy chart to do, okay? You see, this is why I never lose faith in AVGO, okay? Let's just mark this up. This is a great example for y'all right now. All right. Let's do. All right, beautiful. Okay. We shoot up, we come back down. Even that little bump right there, right? Boom. And you start building that staircase. Oh my God. Let me redo that for y'all. All right. Forgot I was in the way. God, am I just gonna have to I think I'm just gonna want to get rid of myself at this point. All right, yeah, let's just get rid of myself. All right. Beautiful. All right, folks. Let's redo this. All right. Okay, this is essentially exactly what you want. All right. You shoot up. Okay. And you start building that staircase right here. You go up, you get that pullback. You shoot up, you get that pullback. And y'all see exactly how it rides that 50 SMA, right? Boom. You come back down, test the 200 SMA right there. Okay. You're still building those stairs. And then you get that pop up and you see how when you start making bigger jumps up, the moves are a little bit more volatile, shall I say. All right. You start moving more violently. Okay. Now these pullbacks are a lot deeper. Pause. Oh, man. All right. Now, you can do the same thing right here, right? You can just break it down even further, all right? As long as you're still getting those pullbacks, that's exactly what you want to see, all right? So this is exactly what I'm talking about is when we begin to get up here, okay? These pullbacks could be a lot. They could be a lot more severe, all right? Just like these run-ups, all right? You get those run-ups, you get that small pullback, boom, right? And this is exactly what you're just getting the entire time, right? Pop up right there even. Boom, you shoot up, you get up here, violently drop, all right? This is exactly what you want to see, all right? There you go. Yeah, we weren't done with that one. All right, boom, you get that. You get it again, boom. And then you're just violently soaring through the sky, all right? When it comes to price action and price pattern, this is exactly what I see, all right? This is the first step to actually looking and visually seeing exactly what price is doing, all right? Now, when it comes to spotting patterns, that's a little bit different, all right? But when it comes to AVGO, that's one of the things that I definitely do look at, all right? How has price action been lately, all right? What is it doing? Where is it going? Um, how is it recovering? How is it acting when it's inflated? Okay. Let me see when is earnings. All right, earnings isn't until June 4th. I mean, let's see its current trend, right? On the 4 hour. I think when we do get a little bit above, let's go ahead and let's name that all-time high price. All right. See, this is where I definitely begin to start sitting on the sidelines. All right. This is when I don't really do as much inside the market. This is when you kind of see me sit back, okay? Because everyone knows I don't like fucking around with all-time highs. Okay. All-time highs is when it's skeptical, all right? At any moment, all right? Because you know why? When you look at the chart, right? Say we get above this price, okay? We start to really boom get above here, right? All right. The second you start getting over here, you have nothing over here to the left. Nothing. Nothing to compare, all right? So, price could either A, just go dummy and just go crazy, right? Or B, get rejected at any given moment, all right? There's nothing that I could say here, all right? And if anybody tells you otherwise, oh no, it's gonna go to this price. I think it's valued at this price, 550, because of X, Y, and Z, bro. You got nothing. You got no data, all right? Unless you're actually part of the board, and even at that, no one actually knows exactly what the price is gonna be, all right? The best thing you can do is sit back and take a guess, all right? So anybody tells you otherwise, they're just full of shit. Don't even listen to them, okay? Maybe they'll know something that I don't, okay? When it comes to that. But at that point, you're kind of reaching insider trading. All right. Um, for the most part, though, when we start reaching all time highs, I mean, I love this rampage, right? It's a great rampage. All right. And even maybe when we get up here, I might consider shorting. All right. But either way, reason why I'm bringing up shorting is because either way, if it's really healthy, you're going to get a pullback. You need a pullback. All right. That validates its price. It says, We like it at this price. We're buying more right here, and we're going to continue shooting up. This is why a retest is so important. This is why you always see me talk about it, okay? So this is exactly what we're looking for. I love AVGO. It's a great company. If anything, out of any of these stocks, I believe that AVGO is going to continue moving forward, okay? They've done their own thing for the longest time, and I got a lot of faith in them, all right? I sound like a shareholder. So Nvidia, same thing. All right, getting that little pullback, and this is why I'm not jumping in short it, because if Nvidia validates this pullback right here, we're going towards all-time highs. All right, this is why I'm not saying I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish. Anything could happen. Okay, now all of this is going on. Okay, all of this is going on while there is still war looming. Okay, it's like everyone forgot about the war all of a sudden. Trump said war is over for the 14th time, and all of a sudden everyone's just bullish, baby. Load up the calls. All right, no, no, no. Jesus Christ, y'all. I see why everyone goes broke, okay? Google still shooting up. Oil. Yeah, I already went over that. All right. Zillow. Let's see what Zillow's down today. All right. Well, see, Zillow's been falling. I'm not too concerned with that. All right. This is a nasty wick. This is look. We dropped below $5 again. We're going down. All right. We're going down like a Fall Out Boy song. All right. Look, that's pretty much today's video right there. Sitting at all-time highs. All right. We have to get above 26,407. All right. We don't, then we just reject it, and that's not only once that we rejected. All right. That's 1, 2, and that'll be a third. Okay. From there, I mean, we all know the story. Okay. Gonna get those pullbacks. Okay. But like I said in yesterday's video, that's more confirmation on us being a little bit more bullish. All right. Because we're now, you see all this consolidation right here? We're just going to continue consolidating. All right. I mean, who knows exactly what's going to happen at that point. Okay. I'm going to leave those critical levels there. I know it seems like a lot. All right. But just ignore those red lines down there. All right. Yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. All right. All-time highs. That's a time where I definitely do sit out on the timeline. But like, this is okay. This is something else that y'all need to take into consideration. Okay. We shot up above the 200 SMA and the 200-day. We are looking for a pullback. And if we don't, then market is going to go crazy. All right. To say nonetheless. But don't be surprised if we do come back down here to this 50 SMA. All right. We got a nice little retest right there. We're trailing. And typically what you normally see inside the market is we see, Jesus, what was that all about? All right. You see us typically come and test that 50 SMA. All right. We test it down here. We test it right here. We're testing it all along. We test it again. We come up. Before we shoot up again, we test it. We test it. We test it. You shoot up again. You come back. You test it. Sometimes you fall below. All right. Let's go even further back into the market before all this madness. All right. You can see us test it right here. All right. There's a first one. There's a second. There's a third. And now we're kind of flirting with disaster right here. But you see how we typically stay on the 50 SMA. All right. This blue line, the 13 EMA, you could see us just riding the wave. All right. If we're surfing right now out in California, that's exactly what we're doing. We're just riding that wave. Okay. That's what we use the 13 EMA for. All right. We're just riding the trend. We're just seeing exactly how this stock is moving. All right. The second that we see dip below, then we start diving into our other EMAs. All right. But this is how you use those. Okay. So right now we're riding the wave, but we're a little bit far. All right. a little bit far from that. We're far from the 50 SMA. All I'm saying is if we're going to get a pullback, now would be a great time for a pullback. Okay? Be a great time for a pullback. Validate a lot of prices, a lot of stocks to say nonetheless, okay? A quick dip below right there, maybe to like 87. I could see back here right there to the 50 SMA. If we're talking AVGO, filling that gap, all right? There's a lot of gaps ups, all right? I don't like gap ups. I don't like gap downs, all right? And let's see what the NASDAQ and the S&P are doing, right? We got above that level right there. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, man. I mean, just look at this. How normal does that look to everybody? When you see the rest of the market doing this type of work, right? And then it just kind of consolidates, right? You see like this kind of like movement that we're kind of like doing, it's like it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And then you go and then you just get one of these, right? Boom. Same thing over here. I mean, it's they move congruently, right? But still, nonetheless, I mean, look how much that we had to like. There's little pullbacks inside here, right? You get a pullback, boom, and then you just get this just ripping through everything. That's just a huge red flag, man. That's like a big red flag in my books. All right. Yes, it screams bullish on a lot of other instances and terms, or especially when I'm saying, 4-hour candles. These are strong candles. But dude, come on. You have to sit here and be realistic at some point or another. All right. Stock market doesn't just go straight up. It doesn't. So just for those that are going to start hopping in calls or whatever, you think the market is back to being bullish, just be careful. Okay. We're at all time highs. VIX is starting to rise again. Oil is starting to rise again. That's all I'm saying. Just be cautious. Go light. All right. Um, yeah, man, that's pretty much it that we have for right now. All right. So I'll see y'all later. Um, I will be going over the next $1,000 challenge. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll go over that. We'll go over that here inside the Discord today in today's session. Okay. So the next $1,000 challenge, I'm going to post it up. You're going to have this one right here. I'm going to post up another one here. We'll kind of go over everything and kind of the similar details. All right. So if you didn't win last time's challenge, you got another chance. All right. I'm doing another one. I'll explain the rules, dates, everything. And I'll give everyone some time. I'll probably give them like a week to go ahead and pretty much sign up for it. All right. Um, yeah, man. So that's pretty much it for today. Yeah, have a great day, man. And if y'all got a chance to make some money, make that money on, boy. Make that money on. All right. So adios, amigos. Peace, you beautiful people.